It's November 28th, and as I sit here before you in 2024, November 28th is Thanksgiving Day in the United States where I live. So let's hybrid this episode a little and focus a little more on Thanksgiving and gratitude, okay? Let's have a look. Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for November 28th. November 28th is the 332nd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 333rd in leap years, with 33 days remaining to the end of the year. Wow, that's a lot of threes. Today's word is gratitude. Gratitude is a noun that means the state of being appreciative of benefits received. Gratitude can also mean a warm and friendly feeling toward a benefactor, prompting one to repay a favor. Thankfulness. The word gratitude and her sister grateful come to us through Middle English, Middle French before that, medieval Latin before that, and ultimately from a Proto-Indo-European root word that meant thankful or pleasing. First known use is in the 14 to 1500s. Gratitude. Now, before we move on to the rest of the episode, I want to tell you that research shows that a daily gratitude practice can positively affect emotional health and interpersonal relationships. I have a personal example. Way back in the 1980s, I had a relative that I had come to dislike. I don't even remember why now, but at the time I felt this individual couldn't do anything right. I was ugly to this person, and I wished they weren't part of my family. I was seeing a therapist at the time, so I talked to her about it, and after a good bit of listening to me whine and complain, she gave me a bit of homework that didn't make any sense to me at the time, but she said, "I'd like you to make a gratitude list about this relative of yours. Every day for 2 weeks, I want you to write down 10 things that you like about this individual." And it can't be the same thing 10 times each day. I want you to do this every day and bring those daily lists with you when you come back next week. I gotta tell you, I really had to stretch to think of 10 things about this person that I liked, and I had to make this list every day. At first, it was things that I thought were meaningless, shallow things like, well, they take showers, they wash their hair, they do their laundry, which I surmised by the fact that they didn't stink. Their hair looked clean. They had a job and went to work every day. As I worked on that list, I realized that they always spoke kindly to me. They were nice to my children. And so the list grew. By the end of the first week, my feelings had softened. And by the end of those 2 weeks, I didn't hate them anymore. I've had occasion to do something like this a few more times since then, with or about other people, or just in general. But as regards people, maybe pray for someone I didn't like. The funny thing about that is, you don't have to feel like doing it when you start out. But by the end of 2 weeks, you do feel a lot better. At least I did. Reminds me of a story I read about a man and what he called his magic magnifying mind. He tells about whatever he focuses on becomes larger in his mind, and I think that's what happened to me with my relative. Some tiny thing that I sure don't remember all these years later happened that annoyed me, and I focused on that, and before you know it, that poor human couldn't do anything right. I had to consciously and deliberately look at more favorable positive features for a while, and guess what? Those expanded in my consciousness. Sometimes the focus of unhappiness isn't about a specific person. In that case, just try making a list of things in general that you're grateful for. I woke up today. The weather's nice. I have a sense of purpose in my life. I know what I'm going to do today. Even a little notebook like this will do. Just a little 3x5 notebook. You can pick them up even at the convenience store little notebook like this. You can make a list of as few as 3 random things you're grateful for every day. You may be surprised at how effective it can be. I can tell you that life is too short to spend it being miserable, and a deliberate, conscious practice of gratitude goes an astonishingly long way. Well, I didn't mean to go on that long about it, but here we are. Today, let's talk about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a uniquely American tradition rooted in gratitude, community, and resilience. The holiday traces its origins to the early 17th century, that'd be the 1600s, when a group of English settlers known as the Pilgrims arrived in present-day Massachusetts aboard the Mayflower in 1620. Struggling through harsh winters and unfamiliar terrain, nearly half the settlers perished during their first year. However, their fortunes changed when the Wampanoag people, led by Chief Massasoit, extended critical aid, teaching the settlers agricultural techniques and sharing resources. In the autumn of 1621, after a successful harvest, the Pilgrims organized a feast to give thanks. They invited the Wampanoag to join them in a 3-day celebration that included shared meals and activities like games and hunting. While this event is often romanticized as the first Thanksgiving, historians note that expressions of gratitude for harvest were common in both European and indigenous cultures long before this gathering. Thanksgiving did not become an official holiday until centuries later. During the American Revolution, the Continental Congress occasionally declared days of Thanksgiving to celebrate victories. In 1863, amid the war between the states, President Abraham Lincoln proclaimed a national Thanksgiving Day to be observed on the final Thursday of November. Lincoln's intention was to unify a fractured nation through a shared moment of gratitude. In 1941, I believe we talked about this the other day, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed legislation making Thanksgiving a fixed holiday to be celebrated on the 4th Thursday of November. Today, Thanksgiving is marked by feasting, family gatherings, and traditions like parades and football. While the holiday's history is intertwined with narratives of cooperation, it also serves as a reminder of the complex relationships between the settlers and the Native Americans, encouraging reflection on the broader history of colonialism and its lasting impact. Thanksgiving remains a day to appreciate abundance, share kindness, and honor the resilience of those who came before us. Here's wishing each and every one of you a wonderful Thanksgiving, wherever you are. I must say, I had a little inner debate as to whether to talk about a song today or not, and the answer quickly swayed to, well, yeah, but which one? Something about gratitude, what would that be? Interestingly, the song that came to mind was Everybody is a Star by Sly and the Family Stone. I don't know that it's necessarily a song about gratitude specifically, but it is kind of a song of love and appreciation of one's fellow humans. So that's the one we're going to talk about today. Everybody is a Star was written by Sylvester Stewart, also known as Sly Stone of Sly and the Family Stone. It was released as the B-side to Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself Again in December of 1969. We'll see if that stays in. Both songs got play on the radio, and I remember hearing them both back then. In 1970, the chart position for both sides of a single were measured equally rather than independently, and so we can say that Everybody is a Star reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in February of 1970. This song has been covered by such luminaries as the Jackson 5, the Pointer Sisters, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Madonna, and others. Everybody is a Star by Sly and the Family Stone. Link in the description. And the link that I found has the lyrics, so you can read along or sing along. Everybody is a star. As we close this Thanksgiving episode, I want to leave you with a simple yet profound thought. Gratitude transforms. It softens our hearts, shifts our perspectives, and brings light to the dimmest of days. It's not just about saying thank you for the big things. It's about noticing the little things that make life brighter, a kind word, a warm meal, a shared laugh. This Thanksgiving, let's take a moment to reflect not only on the abundance we enjoy, but also on the people who enrich our lives, our family, friends, and even those who challenge us to grow. Gratitude connects us to each other and reminds us of our shared humanity. And, as Sly Stone reminds us in Everybody is a Star, each of us shines in our own unique way. Let's take a moment to celebrate that too, the beauty of individuality and the collective brilliance of community. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. May your Thanksgiving be filled with love, laughter, and appreciation for the blessings, big and small, that surround you. See you next time. Okay, we got all the corners covered. Now, I think I had the microphone too close to me last time. I don't have to talk real loud, I just have to talk. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That playlist lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page. It's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.